Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Masterclass Manifest Your Wildest Dreams. I have gotten some time to think about what you want to manifest in 2023, and you probably have a huge list of things that you really are envisioning for this year, right? So, my goal and my sincere attempt from after this masterclass would be to give you certain steps and certain processes that you can follow in order to manifest what you really want. So we'll go through each and every step one by one, and it'll help you understand what exactly goes behind the process of manifesting. And I really hope that by the end of the masterclass, you have cracked the code and you know what to do in order to reach your dreams, right? So without wasting any more time, let's just dive into the masterclass. Now, a little bit about myself before that. Who are not aware, I have been a certified healing practitioner since 2012. I have worked with over 500 clients over the last decade, and I'm also a certified project manager as well as a life coach. And my sheer wish and hope is for all of you to have a healing experience after consuming any content that I put out there. And I hope this masterclass is also able to be a building block and be able to change your life in a better way, the way you are envisioning, right? So now I would just invite you all to think about what are the things or the experiences that you want to really manifest this year, right? So just take a few seconds, a few moments to, just close your eyes and think of what you really want, right? So I've put up a few pictures. I've curated them based on, what people have told me, what they want to manifest, and what my clients have told me. So I'll just go through them one by one just to give you an idea. So the first one, like on the right hand side, you can see a person wanting to maybe vacation somewhere, right? Or something, a dream place that has been on your board for a long time that you want to visit, right? So I would really like you to tap into the feeling of what you really want and not just the thing, right? For example, if you want a vacation, so then what is the feeling that you want to experience by the end of it? So is it freedom? Is it the the feeling of adventure, or maybe knowing that you can do whatever you want whenever you want, so the freedom to choose, right? So just go a little deeper into the next layer. One is what you want, and the other one is what is the feeling that's going behind it, right? So then is it money, jewelry, any sort of assets, right? Maybe a home. And then again, if you have a vague wish of just getting, a pile of money, that's also fine. But then again, what is it for, right? So what is the experience, or what is the feeling that it'll bring you? So try to tap into those as well, right? Or just being able to enjoy a sunset or a sunrise, right? And to have the time to do that, right? Or to be in a place where you can enjoy that. So again, so just um, go through those things, try to understand what is it that you really want. Is it money, vacations, good health, a house, and try to sort of figure out what exactly it is, and where is it coming from, right? So I hope you got some sort of an idea about what you really want, and I'm sure you guys already know where your heart is, so I don't really have to push you into it, but it's very important for you to understand the process, right? Moving on. So now there are sort of pushed you in the direction of knowing, right, what you want, it's very important to have clarity. Now, why am I focusing on this part? It's because it's very important for you to tune into the energy of what you want to manifest. Because when we do that, that is when the ball starts rolling, right? In terms of manifestation, that is where you start getting uh you start attracting what you really want. Okay. So how do we get clarity on what we want? Now, we probably do have a list of things that we want to manifest in 2023. However, some people, might have a vague idea, but they're not really sure about what they want. So, how do we start getting clarity on things that we really want to manifest, right? So, very simple exercise to do that, to get that clarity, is to first create a list of things that you do not want. Now, fear is a very, strong and very powerful energy that all of us can tune into instantly, right? I mean, this is true for many of us, right? So we tend to be fearful of certain things, and we tend to think about those things much more than things that are positive, or things that we really want, because our own doubts and our own negative energies, or whatever the blocks are, right, they tend to block those things, and they tend to push them away from our energy field. Whereas the things that we are fearful of, we tend to think more about it, and we tend to spend more energy on it. So it will be comparatively easier for you, and maybe even less resistant for you, if you can create a list of things that you do not want, right? And now, you know, the whole concept of trying to do this is to understand that thoughts become things, right? So it's very important about where we are putting our thoughts. So uh, once you are able to create that list of things that you don't want, then, for instance, you say that you do not want debt, right? Or you say you do not want bad health, or a certain health condition that you have. So then it will be very easy for you. If you don't want something, then what do you want? You want good health. What's the opposite of that, right? So then create another list of things that you really want out of the list where you just listed what are the things that you don't want, right? And then that will help you um, tune into the reality of what your wish exactly is, right? So thinking, feeling, and seeing it in your mind is very important. It's very important for you to be able to send that energy, send that signal out to the universe, right? Now, there are a lot of things that are happening in the manifestation process. So, for instance, you might feel, that you want something and you've been wanting it for a long time, but you haven't manifested it. Now, thoughts do become things, but there is a little bit of a detour in the middle before you can actually start seeing the manifestation in the physical realm, right? And we're going to obviously talk about all the steps, as we move along in the masterclass. But I just wanted you to understand that this is the first step to get clarity, right? Just because, just imagine if you are not clear about what you want, and you are giving out mixed signals, right? Internally, you are really confused, and you're not really sure if you want it, you're not really sure if you deserve it, right? This is the energy that will be reflected in the outside world, right? And so the universe is also not sure about what you want. And so, you probably will not be getting it because you're not really sure if you deserve it, right? So there are a lot of blocks that might even stop you from even believing the fact that you deserve something. So it's not just blocks. Now, when I talk about blocks, it could be coming from your experiences. It could be your family, people around you, telling you you don't deserve it, or that this is not good for you, or whatever signals they're sending out energetically. It could be your traumas, right, from the past. It could be, how your childhood was. So your inner child, right? And inner child blocks. And all of this together, right? It's creating a vibe or energy that is forming your reality. So obviously, we will also be working on how we can dissolve these blocks, because this is a very important step in the manifestation process, to be able to clear these blocks, right? But where do we start? We start with getting clarity on what we want. And then we work on the blocks that are stopping what we want from getting manifesting, right? So you are the captain of your ship, and and whether or not you direct, your ship in a in a particular direction, the waves, the wind will anyways be carrying the ship in some direction. So when we don't have clarity, that's the sort of place or position that we are in, where the boat is just going wherever the wind or wherever the waves are taking it, right? And but when you have clarity, and then we work on the other steps, then you're actually mindfully directing your ship, right? So that's how you can actually tune into the energy of your desires. That's how you can propel, your ship in that direction. So, having said all of that, I hope you understand now that clarity is very important in terms of um, even starting the process of manifestation, right? And now we come to being specific or general, right? Now, first, so if you know that you want what you don't want, that'll help you know what you do want, right? So that's one aspect of getting clarity. The other aspect is whether or not you want to be specific or general, right? Again, everybody has a different process, right? Healing is not linear at all, right? The whole process of healing is not linear. For somebody, it can be absolutely haywire. For somebody, it can be going from A to B to C. For somebody, it can be going from C to A. And everybody has a unique experience, right? However, I want to explain to you what this process is, so that, when you sort of go through it and you stumble upon this question, it's very clear to you that, this is not a block that you need to, beat yourself about. So, if you want to, I'll just give you an example. So, if you're thinking of, say, manifesting a certain amount in a month, right, or a certain amount in a year, so you want to manifest $10,000, or a specific amount in a month, and you write that down, right? So you have clarity, you know what you want. However, when you're being specific, right, when you say $10,000, you feel good about it, you feel confident, you are a little doubtful, but you know that this is what you want. And so you have to check into your own resistance. If you do not feel the resistance there, go ahead, be as specific as you want, and write down what exactly it is. However, some people, when they actually be very specific, for example, they actually have to get into the details of the amount, or a specific thing that they want, they start feeling uncomfortable, right? They feel that I don't want to be, I don't think I can get it. All the questions, all the doubts, all the blocks just come up, all the resistances come up, and you feel that this is not happening. In that scenario, it is advisable to just be general, right? So then you want a certain amount, you want to be able to manifest, say, an income that's independent of your job. A little specific, like you are defining what you really want, but you're not getting into the details of the exact amount or the exact thing, right? So just learn how to gauge into your energy of resistance, because those are the vibes, and that's your, well, this whole process can be very deep, right? And this is a masterclass where I'm trying to just give you bullet points of how the manifestation process works. In the future, I'll be getting into the details of each and every block so that, it helps you understand. But for now, I would just say that being specific or general is something that really needs to resonate with you. Whatever you feel, whatever you think is something that really sits with you, and you think that you feel good about it, in terms of your emotions, go with that, right? And that is something which will cover step one for all of you to get clarity on what exactly you want, right? Now, talk about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So, once we get clarity, once you know what you want, right? Now, we ponder a little bit upon the sentence of thoughts becoming things. Now, when we get into suppose you have a thought, right, of wanting to manifest a certain thing. That is your conscious mind, right? So all the thoughts, everything that you're thinking, the chatter mind is your conscious mind, which is constantly, where all your thoughts are coming in, right? So you need to know that it's only 10% of the actual manifestation in the physical realm. The conscious mind is only contributing 10% to that, right? But it is contributing 10%, so it is important. That is the entry gate to the process of actual real manifestation, right? So, conscious mind is the thoughts we think. However, for our real manifestation to take place, right, for us to be able to see it in the 3D world, that thought, right, or that wish or that dream or what you want to manifest needs to also get into our subconscious mind, right? So, when we expand our subconscious mind, we're actually able to make space for our desires to manifest, right? And it's very important for us to understand the process, right? And it might also take a little bit of work on all of our, blocks that we talked about in the last slide about, all the traumas and all the blocks that come from different areas of our life. It's very important to first get clarity, to know what you want, that gets into your conscious mind. Then it's very important to work on the blocks, right? To be able to clear it, because until and unless we feel worthy or we believe in our own dreams, it is difficult for it to get into our subconscious mind, right? So the process till now has been thoughts, conscious mind, working on our blocks, and then it gets into our subconscious mind, right? And now let's talk a little bit about the limiting beliefs and the blocks that sort of bridges the gap between our subconscious and the conscious mind. So again, it's very important to work on what our insecurities are, right? What is our deservingness, right? And what do we believe in? Now, it's recently heard somebody say that, you can knowing something, and believing in it are two absolutely different things, right? So many a times we probably know, which is our, step one, we have clarity on what exactly we want, but do we believe, in that dream? Do we believe that we can have it, right? And that's where um, a lot of these books and places and things that I've read about manifestation, they don't talk about the work, the inner work that we really want have to work on, right? Which is the healing and clearing of our limiting beliefs, and it just uh, and it's not just a 1 day process. It's something that's going on for years, right? It's something that is a part of your life, has been a part of your life. It can be your relationships, that are contributing to these blocks. It could be, your past, your parents, so many things, right? So I'm going to give you a glimpse of how we can work on our limiting beliefs. Of course, we don't. like the scope of this masterclass doesn't really will not really have we don't the time or the depth of the information that will be required to get into that. But in the future, I will be making, like I said, working on different content materials to address that, right? So for now, just I want to keep recapping again and again so that it's easier for you all to understand. We have our thoughts, it gets into your conscious mind, so you need to have clarity in order for it to even get into your conscious mind. Then you work on our limiting beliefs, and these blocks and these different layers that come around from different areas of our life. We need to be able to heal, we need to be able to clear them for it to get into our subconscious mind. And now I have created this amazing step-by-step process, and I want you all to take a printout and put it up on your your tables, your wherever, as a broadcast, so that you can actually understand what exactly is the process of manifestation. So this is it. So first your desires, right? Come into your conscious mind, then you clear your blocks and trauma. That gets into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where the 90% of our wishes and hopes get manifested. And then we move towards embodiment, right? Which we will be, I will be talking about. I'll be giving you an exercise on how we can do that. And once we can actually go through each and every step here, right, fully, is when the actual manifestation takes place, right? So again, desires, then clearing of our blocks, getting into our subconscious mind, embodying, right? Embodiment of that desire, and then that desire gets manifested, right? Okay, now I want to be talking about the step where we addressed the different blocks in our lives, the bridge between the conscious and the subconscious. I want to talk about how we can work on different channels and different modes of healing to be able to clear that away, right? Now these are just some uh, processes that I've been using with my clients, that I've been using myself, that I'm talking about here. But there are a plethora of resources out there. I would encourage each one of you to do your own research, try to figure out what is it that really resonates with you, right? Because many of my clients, they really, breath work really works with them, but EFT they do not resonate with, right? Or hypnosis works for somebody, and then the others don't. So there is a whole there can be so many things that can resonate with you, and so many that don't. So do not think that you're limited to this list out here. And I really vouch for these because they seem to have worked with a lot of people and for myself as well. So talking about breath work, right? Now, many of us already know, in even in yoga practices and in our daily lives, we've been told, or we've been recommended doing mindful breathing, right? Because breath in itself is life, right? But there are different types of breath works as well. For example, there is shamanic breath work, there is transformational breath work, there is clarity breath work, and there is rebirthing, right? Uh, there are so many. So if you actually inculcate this practice in your life, what it's actually doing is that once you have the desire, once you have the clarity, and now all I mean, I'll just give you an example. For example, I want to earn a certain amount a year, right? Just this one statement, or I'm going to, you know or I have already manifested it in 2023, if you want to say it in the present tense. Now, just having said that, again, just saying something and believing in it, that's the bridge that you need to, that's the gap you need to bridge, right? So that's where you work on what is it, that have been your inner child traumas, what is it that is stopping you from believing that, you deserve it? What is it that you feel? What are your thoughts about money? What did your parents tell you about money? What did your caretaker tell you about money, right? What is your own um, uh, outlook towards what's going on around the world? So how do you feel about the economy? Do you feel that you're part of the recession? So there are so many things that will come up once you just declare what you want, right? And I would say many of them are internal, right? So this is only the internal blocks that I'm talking about. There is obviously other external blocks as well. You could be talking to somebody and they would just tell you that you are, somebody can be as crude and say that you're a loser. Why do you even think that you can make this money, right? Or you actually tell your dreams, or you share it with your partner, or your somebody like a close friend, and they tell you that you don't you should first focus on being practical, quote unquote, and not get into all of this or whatever. Like, I'm just giving you a very random example, but we all know, right? There are people out there, most of them are near and dear ones, right, who would probably actually, in the guise of being a well-wisher, tell you not to get into something that you can't have, and then beat yourself about it. It can be as they probably think that they're doing something for your own benefit, right? So to be able to distinguish all of that, right, and to actually be holding space in your subconscious mind for your dreams is is a little bit of work. I will not say it's difficult, but it's a little bit of work. And these techniques that I'm talking about, breath work, EFT, emotional freedom technique, hypnosis, and many others, actually help you stay in that zone, stay in that energy of manifestation. Because there'll be many factors that will try to, dwindle you from where you are, right? Then comes EFT. So like I've put up a picture here, you can see there are different points, right? Energy points on your face and some on your body, which you can tap on, right? With like maybe two fingers. Again, there is a lot of like resources out there on EFT. You can, even check out a lot of YouTube videos on how, tapping is done, and be able to tap into whatever your fears are and actually do the tapping one round. It doesn't take a lot of time. Some people can do it for a longer time, but I generally recommend at least 10 to 15 minutes to begin with, right? And actually try and gauge the change that you yourself see, right? And this will also help you clear away again the same blocks, trauma, all the things that stop you from believing in what you really want, right? So and then before we do a round of EFT, there's also hypnosis. So again, hypnosis, a lot of people have found tremendous, healing from an experience of hypnosis. You can work with a professional, you can sign up for sessions and actually deal with the internal blocks that come up for you, and they can actually guide you. They can get into the subconscious mind and actually help you clear away a lot of stuff that stops you from, growing, expanding, manifesting, right? Okay, now having said all of that, I actually wanted to get into a round of EFT with all of you. Now, again, like I said, there are a lot of resources out there that you can tap into to actually understand what EFT is, how to do it. But I just wanted to give you a glimpse of, how I work with my clients, or how I work on myself, right? So, to begin with, you give yourself a rating. And again, I think, you can tweak the methods as well, because there are different ways people can do it. But this is the process that I follow. And so feel free to explore and research before you start your process, right? So think about, again, like I said, think about maybe manifesting a job, right? And you think that you're not able to, you've applied to a lot of places or you've had a lot of interviews, but you've been rejected and you feel very, dejected, and you feel like you won't be able to, get what you really want. So imagine, tap into that feeling, tap into that feeling of helplessness, feeling dejected, rejected, not being appreciated, and give yourself a rating. So, for example, you give yourself maybe a 9, right? 10, 9 being the worst, and 0 being you feeling neutral, 1 being it's not really bothering you. So you give yourself a 9, and I'll just give you the framing, right, of how you can start the tapping process. So then you start tapping, right? Again, like you can tap it with both your hands. You can do it on both sides, or you can do it on one side. The energy is still flowing and the energy is still clearing. So, there is no hard and fast rule there. So again, now tapping into the feeling of, being rejected. So even though I feel like I'm not where I want to be, right? I love and accept myself. You say this while you're tapping on these different points that are mentioned here, right? So again, you do another round. Even though I feel like I'm not where I want to be, I love and accept myself, right? So you continue tapping. And then you say, even though I feel like a loser, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Right? Keep tapping. Say it again. Even though I feel like a loser, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Right? Keep tapping. And then another round. Even though I do not believe that I will achieve everything on my vision board, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Right? Keep tapping. So do a round of tappings. You can frame your own sentences based on what you're feeling, like calling yourself a loser is something that, you probably are already, saying that, or this is like a self-talk that's anyways happening, right? So the pain points is something that you yourself can bring up, right? And so going through these statements, once you try for 10 to 15 minutes, and you even get already created statements out there. There are a lot of resources, like I said. To begin with, if you're not really clear about what to say, you can definitely adopt whatever is out there. And then once you've done with the first round, you will check the rating, right? So you started off with 9. Are you feeling a little better? Are you feeling an 8? Are you feeling even like are you feeling worse? Is it 10 now? Or is it 3? Is it, 4? Is it going down? So it should be going down, right? With the different levels of rounds you do. And then the whole point is for you to feel a lower number, right? And again, you need to be able to cater it to your own feelings, emotions, what you want, what you resonate with, and continue doing it, right? So this is how EFT works, and it has worked with a lot of the people that I have, you know, consulted and like recommended this exercise, and this is something that really has been phenomenal, over the years for us. So, having said all of these processes, I hope this helps you understand the blocks, and how you can actually clear these in order to move to the subconscious level, right? Now, let's talk about the process of embodiment, right? So this is the last step, but you can even use it at the beginning as well. Okay, but I kept this exercise at the end so that you have an understanding of what exactly are things that are stopping us from getting where we want. And now I'm opening up to different steps of how you can actually bring about the positive change in your life, right? Now, Embodiment is actually a process of connecting with your thoughts and checking in with your body to see how you feel about it, right? So this is like the whole, you're actually unpacking, the process of acceptance versus rejection, right? Because there are certain things, like I said in the beginning, so you might say that you want to manifest, a 20 bedroom, house. Now, the first thing you think about, I mean, you've probably thought about it, right? You think like, okay, I might want it. But then when you actually say it out loud, you suddenly feel like, oh my God, it's never going to happen. So what happened? Like the moment you 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 even uttered something that you desire, your conscious mind in itself rejected it. So it didn't even enter your conscious mind. So it's very important for you to understand how you're feeling about what you want, because that's what determines whether or not it moves to the next level. And so I really invite you all to understand this exercise and actually be able to apply it to your own life, because this can be phenomenal and this can really change the way you think about your desires and what you want to manifest. So I call it the permission slip exercise. And this exercise is basically for you to make your wishes and dreams believable to your own self. Because, like I said, that is the first process, right? Sorry, that's the first step, right? For you to be able to actually get into your conscious mind. And like we already know, conscious mind, then you work on your blocks, and then you work on the subconscious mind, and then the process of embodiment takes place, right? So, this process that I'm going to talk about, the permission slip exercise, it actually helps you drop resistance, right? So that the brain does not resist. And then when you believe it, reality will meet your identity, right? And when it meets your identity, what happens? That's when, you're one with it. You're one with your dream. You're one with what you really want. And then you can see it in the 3D. You can actually start seeing it in the outer world, exactly what you want, right? So, what is the process? Now, think about, again, wanting to manifest a certain amount of money in a month, right? So, I want to manifest $10,000 a month, right? Now, when you say it, like I said, you can be very specific, you can be general, but even then, if you feel a resistance coming up, you really want it, you're absolutely clear about it, but you still have a lot of doubts, right? Your mind is still resisting it because they've never seen $10,000 a month, right, in your life, and they do not think that with the quote unquote luck that you have, you will get it, and you think that it's an outrageous um wish to have, right? So, can you see how your mind in itself has diluted your wish and dream, and now it's not even something that you believe that you can get? So, how do you make that happen? How do you make yourself believe? So that's where these statements come in, right? You can say, instead of I want to manifest, or I am manifesting, or I have manifested $10,000 a month, you can say I am in the process, right, of manifesting $10,000 a month. Now, the moment you say in the process, I hope you feel some relief, right? I hope you feel a little bit at ease, right? And what I've seen in my experience is that the moment, somebody says this, my clients start feeling like it can happen, right? Because I'm in the process, right? If I'm in the process, it can take, it can be instant, it can take some time, and I'm not really committed, or I'm not really telling myself that this is the deadline, right? And it can happen when it can, or when it will happen, right? And so there are so many elements, and there are so many um parts to it, that your nervous system starts to calm down. And it's very important for us in the process of embodiment to have a grounded nervous system, or to have a calm nervous system, right? And this statement helps you do that, right? The next one that you can use is, you know, I, instead of saying I have manifested $10,000 a month, you can say I'm choosing to manifest $10,000 a month. Or I'm choosing to be healthy in 2023, right? Or I'm choosing to be a better, you know, friend, right? So again, the heaviness, right, that the mind or your body feels with a certain deadline or with a certain statement can be taken away by saying, I'm choosing to do something or to be something, right? So I hope that helps, right? And the third statement is, instead of saying you know, I've manifested $10,000 a month, I am the type of person, right, who, and then say whatever you want, who is in the process of manifesting 10,000 $10,000 dollars a month, right? And these are certain statements I heard in a wonderful podcast where I'm the type of person who loves and respects, you know, herself unconditionally, or I'm the type of person who has beautiful and bountiful relationships, right? So this is how you can ease the process. You can make your own dreams believable to yourself, right? So our, just remember, our desires are like a seed, right? And they need to go deep into the earth, right? And then get nourished for it to actually come out as a thriving plant, right? And so that's what you're doing in the embodiment process. Your desires are like your seed, are like the seed, right? And those desires need to go deep into your subconscious mind, right? And then how do you nourish it? You nourish it by clearing away and by healing the traumas and the blocks that are inside. And once you've done that, once you've embodied that, right? Then the desires come out in the 3D world as a thriving plant, right? So that's the process of manifestation that I want you to keep in mind, and to know that this is not a one day's job, right? It could be instant. Some seeds come out and sprout instantly, or not instantly, but like maybe a little earlier than, others. And like I said, healing is not a linear process. So, for some it can happen quickly, for some it can take time, but you need to know your own self, right? You need to be uh, in line with your own energy system, because that's how you'll be able to navigate your own ship, right? Because if you look at someone else and think about your process being exactly like them, that's never going to happen, because you're unique. You have your own process, you have your own journey, and you need to start owning up that journey for you to be able to understand how your manifestation process works, right? All right. So now, um, I want to get into the vision board. So now that you all know what you want to manifest, how the process works, what all you need to work on in order for it to be embodied, now let's get into the Feng Shui vision board that I talked about. Now, what exactly is a vision board? Let me get into that a little bit. I'm sure you all already know what a vision board is, so you get a board or paper or anything, right, where you can create uh, like, which can actually be a base for you, right? And then whatever you want, whatever your wish is, you basically put out visual images, or some symbols that represent them, and you put it up, and that's your vision board. You look at it, right? And you, by sending out energy, by connecting with it, you want to manifest what's on the vision board, right? But now I want to talk about Feng Shui vision board here. which actually taps into an energy map called Bagua, right? Now, it is one of the main principles of Feng Shui practice and it's very powerful. Okay. Now, the Bagua offers a systematic way to evaluate the energy field of your environment. Okay. So you can see probably you can see the nine spheres out here, which have different areas of your life and different colors, right? Now, a Bagua map is used to divide your space into nine separate areas, right? And then, of course, each area is connected to a specific theme, okay? So this generally happens, the energy center generally happens for your homes or like for a specific space. But here we are uh, creating it for your vision board. So we are moving the same concept of what a Bhagwa energy center is to your vision board now to make it even more powerful. Okay. So for instance, so what do you do? So you can get a you can get a chart paper, you can get a normal, board, like actually a thick board and stick pictures on it, or you can go digital. There are so many apps nowadays. There's Canva. You can create your vision board on online as well, right? So let me just go through the different energy centers here, and then I'll show you what I actually created for one of my clients, and then you can duplicate it or you can be inspired by it and create your own by the end of the masterclass, right? So absolutely on the left top, you can see wealth and prosperity, and that's purple in color. So think about things that you really want in terms of, abundance, cash flow, prosperity. So whatever you want to manifest in terms of wealth and prosperity goes in that corner of your vision board. Okay. Then comes fame and reputation. So again, what do you want to manifest in terms of fame? Is it your career? Is it your relationships? Overall, whatever you want, whichever area basically you want fame in, that's what goes here. Then comes love and relationships. So here, it doesn't have to be limited to a romantic relationship. Of course, it can be all sorts of relationships, but romantic relationships also go in this corner, and the color will be pink. Then we come to family and community, which is green in color. So here's where, your support system goes. So even if your family is not your support system, whoever and whatever you want to manifest in terms of a support system, because we all need some sort of a system where we have strengthened relationships, who support us, who help us, who protect us. So that's what goes here in this corner. What do you want to manifest in terms of a support system? In the middle comes health and well-being. So again, is there a specific, type of a health that you want to manifest? Your body, your mental health, your, overall emotional health, whatever goes around well-being comes in this section. So what do you want to manifest here? Again, I would invite you to be specific or general in terms of how it feels in your own body, because that is your reality. That's what your process is, and that's unique to you. So you need to go according to that. Now, here you can see elements as well. This would be more pertinent to a space that you're living in, right? So had it been a home and you wanted to divide it into these different sections, maybe having a candle because it's a fire element here, or supporting fire. Okay, so the element is earth, so maybe having a plant, or something that is the earth element in that area will accentuate the energies of that place. So that's what it means if you want to look into, the details of what exactly the Bhagava energy centers are. Then comes creativity. So again, here, what is it that's your creative pursuit, right? What do you really what so when it says children here, it's basically connecting with your inner child. It's not particularly children as in, your children or somebody else's children. It's actually your inner child. So what is it that you're really passionate about? What is it that really brings you joy? I mean, of course, it can be offspring as well. So if somebody wants to manifest, having a baby or, a pregnancy, this is the area where you can put up, pictures in. And so again, what is your creative pursuit? So have you wanted to write a book, or you wanted to travel the world, or you wanted to get a project out of, maybe something that you've always desired, photography, some project. So whatever it is that goes here that you want to manifest in 2023. Now, again, this is a 2023 vision board we're talking about, because, a lot of people have yearly vision boards. You can also have monthly vision boards. It's absolutely up to you. So there's no hard and fast rule there. Then comes knowledge and wisdom, which is blue in color. Again, if you're getting confused about how the colors go, I will show you an example after the slides. Don't worry about it. Just think about what exactly do you want at this point. Knowledge and wisdom again. So in terms of, your own growth, your spiritual growth, even your academic growth, your career growth, whatever it is. Knowledge is getting information, right? And learning new things. So getting the wisdom, and this can obviously overlap with all areas of your life. So again, whatever it is, put it out here. Whatever you're inquisitive about, put it out here, right? And whatever you want to manifest. Then comes life purpose and career. So we have a specific section for it. So again, a lot of people ask me about business. So I would say for business, if you want to manifest anything, it will go into creativity as well as your life purpose and career, right? And of course, if it's a well-being business, then it can also go in the well-being section. So there is no hard and fast rule of how your wishes and dreams have to be limited to one area, right? This is just an example for you to understand how your dreams and wishes can actually get a lot of energy, but doesn't mean that the same wish cannot go into different, areas. The more the merrier, actually. Then comes the career. In your career, if there is a new job, a promotion, a change of career, or there are certain goals that you've targeted for a year, right? And you want to manifest that, all of that goes here, right? And since it's also life purpose, so bigger, longer, like having a bigger vision, not just a job, right? But what exactly do you want in life? And you don't obviously have to be absolutely clear about it, because things change, and they're fluid. But if there is something like, that really has been in your heart, or something that's really calling you, so all of that goes here, okay? And you can change this, obviously. You might create something, and then maybe a month down the line, you think, you know what, this is not what I want this. So you can obviously alter it, okay? It's your vision board, so it goes as your energy flows. And then the last one would be travel. Again, having a supportive community. So you see, there are already overlaps in the different areas, right? So the family community, helpful people, friends, all both of them kind of similar, right? But this one also has a travel component, which is quite important. A lot of my clients work heavily on this area, because they probably want to manifest certain trips, right? Or want to go somewhere. So all of that, the amount of money you want to travel, the places you want to travel, you want to manifest any sort of visas, whatever it is, all of that goes here. And if you want to get some favors, or if you want to get supportive, bosses, or supportive, clients, so all of that also goes here, because it's about people cooperating with you, helping you grow, and also being in sync with who you are. So all of those wishes and things that you want to manifest go in this area. Now, having said all of that, I hope it's clear what a Feng Shui vision board is, and I hope that you're able to understand, how to create a vision board. Now, I've created one for all of you, and I want to go through it with you to understand how you can create one for yourself, right? So if, as you see, you don't really have to be specific about the colors, right? So for example, this area is supposed to be purple, but I just put like a purple line here, which is fine. And you can just put up whatever you want. You can even have affirmations which is great. Whatever you resonate with, right? So you can put your name, um, then well, this area I've just put a evil eye, but this in itself means that if there is fame and reputation, you're protected. Here, it's love and relationship, so you have your pink line, and you can actually put a picture of a certain person if you are already in a relationship or you want to manifest something or somebody or a relationship. It's better to get into the feelings, as I said, get into the feelings of what the relationship rather than focusing on a particular person, because we want to be open to the various possibilities out there rather than limiting our our belief of getting just one thing, right? Then comes the creativity section here again. Sometimes a picture can mean so much to you that in itself is self-explanatory. And of course, this is something that you have, right? You don't have to share it with anybody. So if you want to write something, you can. If you don't want to, it's fine, absolutely. It's supposed to be white, so you already have a white, this thing at the end, so it's fine. Then you come to health, right? So what kind of a body or what kind of a health? Then again, you can be as specific as you want, you can be as vague as you want, whatever resonates with you. If a picture in itself is really connecting with you, that's enough. So you have the orange here, then or the yellow, actually it should be. Then comes peace. So this is your family community. So what is it that you really want, right? You want peace and tranquility, and that's enough, so whoever comes, that's the point. So this was supposed to be green. Again, you don't have to get into the colors that specifically, but if you can get a picture that's green, it works well. Next is knowledge and wisdom. So you see here, you have the green line here, by the way, for family and community. This side is again blue, so knowledge and wisdom. Again, the picture in itself means that, so you want to work on a specific area. You want to work more on meditation. So this particular person wanted to grow their meditation practice, so that's what they put. But if you have anything else in mind, you can create small pictures and put it out here. If you feel like this is not enough, you can create multiple ones. You can create just one for health, and that's fine. You can just have one whole vision board on health, and that's fine, right? I know that won't be specific to Bagua, but you know, it's all energy. If you can focus your energy, if you can align with it, if it works for you, go for it. Then comes career. So there's a black one, and what do you want? So again, this person also wanted to work from home. So they wanted me to put a picture around which sort of depicts that. So again, you don't want to be that specific. You want to earn a certain amount, you can put that amount here, and it's absolutely fine. And then the last one is, supportive people and travel. So again, I think this person talked about the different trips that they want to take in this year, and I've removed it for this masterclass. But of course, you can mention it here, all the trips, whatever you want, and all the approvals and people who wherever you go, you're supported. So again, this is just an example for all of you to, think about how you can actually create your own vision board. Again, how you resonate with it, how you feel going and connecting with the flow, and then being able to embody your own vision board, because that's when you actually are able to manifest, right? All right, folks, that was it. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you're able to, embody each and every process that I taught you here. And yeah, and I hope you have a wonderful 2023, because this is the year of your, dream. This is the year when you learn how to manifest. And I hope you manifest everything that is on your vision board.